3 kuzobe kukhuluma nina nje, mina I'll be just behind the scenes.
Okay, akunankinga.
All right. Noma, what's going on with the Noma? Oh. How is everyone doing there on Matebeleland TV live? And we are trying to get in touch with Noma. She is going to be the host of this show. So brace up yourself. Lapho Matebeleland TV live. Lizobeli hostwa Noma Zulu and her team as we talk about GBV and how it affects women. So Salind Noma Zulu ngathi inetwork yake yamhlula lapha, but zozama ukuthi simthinte sisebenzisa WhatsApp ukuthi kodwa kwazi ukuthi akhulume lathi on this program. But to all that are listening, I am joined by Nonimpala, who is also part of this panel. She's going to be talking to us about GBV and how it affects women. So in the meantime, whilst you're waiting for Nomazulu to get her connection right, I just wanted to say, Nonimpala, welcome to the show.
Angizwa.
Ngithi welcome to the show.
Okay, ngiyabonga bhuti.
All right. So can awusitshele kabanzi ukuthi who is Nonimpala and what do you represent as we are waiting for Nomazulu to join us?
Salubonani, dumelani, linjani, mabuyani. Mina ibizo Matebeleland. Usisi ozalwa esikhalangeni phansi khona le Plumtree Brunabheki.
Nolebeleka.
Nolebeleka Zwibanana.
All right. Okay. Continue.
Kusho ukuthi namhlanje sizabe sikhuluma nge-GBV okuyinto ehlukumeza abantu besifazane njalo ukuthi kunabantu besifazane abasishiyayo ngenxa yokuhlukunyezwa kuleso simo.
All right. Okay, as we are waiting for Nomazulu seems like she's here. Nomazulu. You are live. Hello, Nomazulu. I know you are the driver of this ship, and the audience is already waiting for you. If you can hear us clearly, sesingenile emoyeni. So we are waiting. Me now, I'm just going to be steering the ship from the other side. But thank you so much for joining us, and I think I'm gonna hand over the cables to you to take over from now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kenny. Benganakile ukuthi we are live already. I'm sorry for being late kancane because of technical issues as always. Yeah, thank you so much. Welcome Nometa. Siyajabula kakhulu ukuba nawe ehlelweni. Salibonani babukeli beMatebeleland Television Live. Nababukeli be-JCTV Africa. Sizakini bukhoma from Johannesburg. Sihamba lama-guest, angihambi ngedwa namhla, angihambi loKenny kuphela, ngihamba labanye omama, ngihamba lezinye imbokodo. Osesijoyinile kathesi nguNonimpala, uNomatebeleland. Salinde abanye omama ukuthi labo bajoyine angazi ukuthi usaqhubekani kumele sibe yi-5 kumele sibe labo mama abayi-4 lami ngibe ngowesi-5 eziyopresenta uNomazulu wakomoyo. Siyabonga kakhulu babukeli ukuthi lathi ngentambama yanamhla. Nometha bingelela ababukeli bethu sisalinde abanye.
Hayi noma laba bukeli
Hi, unjani?
ukuthi ngiyaphila unjani?
Ngiyaphila. Bingelela ababukeli uzazise ukuthi uNometha wangaphi uze ngani lapha?
Hayi ubhude besethe ababukeli ngibabingelele bese ngibabingelelile.
Oh, impethu ngilate. Uxolo kulokho. Kanti vele ubuya phekhaya ngoba mina ngikwazi.
Mina mina ngibuya eBrunaberg.
Okay, uNometha weBrunaberg babukele esihamba laye namuhla. Sizokhuluma ngodaba olubucayi kakhulu olwe-gender based violence phecelezi i-GBV. Babukeli siyakwazi ukuthi ensukwini zanamuhla esiphila kuzo kunzima kakhulu. Sibona udlame ngapha langapha, abantu bayabulalana endabeni zothando. Kusuka abantu ababili bethandana bagcine bebulelene, kugcine kuhlukunyezwana, kugcine kubulawana, kushawana, kuhlukumezwana. So namhla size lapha ngaleyo topic sizokhuluma labo mama ukuthi kanti what went wrong? Kuqhubekani lapha ezindlini kanti enzima kangaka ezigcine kusiba lezidumbu phansi. Sibona kancane ku-social media kuyatrenda umuntu wesifazane usebulewe, kancane kuyatrenda ubani usebulewe, ubani usenyamalele, kanti enyamalala uqhamuka esebulewe. Kudaba oluhamba phambili ensukwini ezimbili ezidlulileyo sibone olukaMoblessing wasechidungwiza eHarare lapha laye oye wathunjwa wanyamalala okwensuku eziningi. Othe ma watholakala eseyisidumbu. Ngezinye izinto ezisithinta kakhulu singabantu besifazana ukuthi kancane ukhona osebulewe, kancane ukhona osenyamalele. Babukeli sizokhuluma ngalolu daba namuhla sithi sizwele kwabanye omama ukuthi bona kanti kubaphatha njani lokho. Kungabe kukhona mhlawumbe into ezenzakalayo esingazaziyo or mhlawumbe kungaba lezisombululo ezingaba khona. Nometha akungene kulolu daba ababukeli bethu besabukele sisalinde abanye ngalesi sikhathi.
Kusho ukuthi namhlanje sikhuluma ngodaba olubuhlungu njalo oluzwisa ubuhlungu kakhulu. Okungangokuthi kunemphefumulo ehambayo, kunabanye abasala belimele. Silinyazwa yilabantu okumele ukuthi ngabe yibo abasivikela. But ekugcineni yibo abanjani abasilimazayo. Nje uma uthi uyakhangela abantu besifazane ngosuku bayabulawa. Babulawa yilabantu abakhangelele kibo ukuthi ma bengathi behlukunyezwa bekhalele kibo kodwa labo bantu babalimazayo. So lento le ibuhlungu kakhulu ikakhulu emntwini owesifazane manje usephila ngaphansi kwesimo sokuthi usekasaba. Ngensuku zamanje ungathandana lo muntu ma ungasamfuni sokumele ukuthi khona akuchitheke igazi noma akushiya akulimazile. Okumele ukuthi ngabe bantu labo yibo abasivikelayo. Umuntu wesifazane akasaphephanga. Kubuhlungu kanganani ma ulomntwana oyintombazana ngesuku zamanje ma ukhuliswa umntwana oyintombazana umkhulisa ngaphansi kwesimo esinje ngoba abantwana bethu abasaphephanga ngoba kwathina abazali asiphephanga okwamanje. Abantu bayahlukumezeka, abantu bayashaywa. Ma uku-GBV kwesinye isikhathi uba phakathi kwenye indawo ongangokuthi awukhoni ukubona into e-right lento e-wrong ngoba usuphakathi kwayo. Sekunzima ukuphuma, kube nzima ukuhlala. Ma uhleli uyabulawa, ma uthi uyahamba nakho uyabulawa.
Nometha siyasibone abantu besifazane abaningi omunye ehlukunyezwa bese sibona ama-post ku-social media, omunye sithi ngiyesaba ngachiya sizadlani labantwana because umnyeni wami uyangihlukumeza kodwa nguye obhadala irenti. kodwa nguye othenga ukudla, manje ngizasuka ngiye ngaphi? Indaba ezinjalo kwenziwa njani uma umuntu wesifazana usubhekane naleso simo esibucayi sokuthi uyahlukunyezwa la ekhaya, awusebenzi, ulabantwana, indoda yiyo owondlayo. Sithola abantu besifazane abaningi bebhekane naleyo nkinga.
Into engayisho noMaZulu ukuthi abantu besifazane abafunde ukuzimela, abafunde ukuma ngenyawo zabo zombili, bengathi uma umuntu oyindoda asebenza athi khona yena angeke asebenze, ngoba amadoda ahlukumezanayo esikhathini esiningi awafuni umfazi asebenze, bafuna khona ukuthi umfazi ahlale endlini. Ma ungumfazi kumele ufunde ukuzimela ukwenzela ukuthi nalowo muntu ma engabe asuka eduze kwakho nawe ukwazi ukusala uzimele ngenyawo zombili, ngoba kuyabe sokubukeka engani kuthiwa kuya-blackmailwana ukuthi ma uzohamba nabantwana nizodlani, of which indaba ebuhlungu njalo indaba esibhekane layo kumanje ukuthi uyezwa umuntu akhala ethi indoda ingishayile or ihambile or kwenzakele lokhu nalokhuyana, uthi uyabheka kulolo daba kunabantwana phakathi, and abantwana abaningi bayabuka abazali babo behlukumezeka. Lento lena iyalimaza abantwana kakhulu.
Thina singamaNdebele sivela eMatebeleland esiNdebeleni, siyasibona abadala uma kungabe kukhona ohlukunyezwayo ku-relationship behlalisa phansi besithi akulungiswe umuntu engachiyi imizi yabo. Lapho esigcina khona sesibona umuntu esephuma eseyisidumbu. Kwenziwa njani entweni enjalo uma abadala kumbe izihlobo zithi hlala kuleyo relationship emendweni kuyabekezelwa? Senze njani singabantu besifazane abasakhulayo, abantu besifazane abancane?
Into engayisho noMaZulu ukuthi abantu bakudala nabantu bamanje ngingasho ukuthi bayehlukile. Kudala besisizwa ukuthi ogogo bethu omkhulu bebashaya ngezinduku. Ingasho ukuthi umdaka owabumba abantu bakudala lo mdaka obumbe abantu bamanje awusafanani, so kwehlukile. Qala umuntu ebebekezela, kodwa ngensuku zamanje mawubekezela uzophuma ngebhokisi lomncwabo. Njalo umuntu ma ungamtshela ukuthi ashiye, kusasa usungavuka umubi, kodwa wena ubunjani ubumbonisa.
Babukeli beMatebeleland television abaqeda ukusijoyina khathesi, sikhuluma ngodaba olubucayi, udaba lwe-gender based violence. Lapho abantu ababuthakathaka, abantu besifazane lezingane sithola behlukumezeka kakhulu. Sibona nababizwa LGBTQ behlukumezeka kakhulu. Kungathinti abantu besifazana kodwa labesilisa bakhona abahlukunyezwayo ku-relationship. Njengoba besishilo ku-poster yethu ukuthi ngeviki elizayo sabe sikhuluma labo baba sizwe isayidi labo ukuthi lithini. Namhla sikhuluma labo mama, sisalinde abanye omama abasijoyinayo okumele bangene lapha abathathu. Okhathesi ngisasele noMethampala usasitshela, usasilandisela, usasibonisa ukuthi singenza njani ngezimo ezibucayi esibhekane lazo singabantu besifazane. Lapho esithola khona sesihlukunyezwa ngabantu okumele ngabe bayasivikela. Babukeli, litsho ama-comment, lifaka ama-comments, lintsho imbono yenu ukuthi lina izimo lezi lithini ngakho. Nometha sisaqhubeka njalo nje sibona kuyakhalwa, kwesinye isikhathi sithola kuke kwaba le issue 2 weeks back lapho esibone khona ubaba womuzi oye wafakela abantwana i-poison ngenxa yokuthi ubesola ukuthi abantwana asobakhe. Izimo lezi abantu ababhekana lazo ezindlini sithola kweminye imindeni indoda izibulala, ibulala konke labantwana. Kanti kusuka konakele kuphi ongaze kufike kubulaweni kwabantu?
Leyo indaba ibuhlungu kakhulu ngoba abantwana ngingasho ukuthi imphefumulo engalacala, so abantwana sebefela izono zabazali babo. Into engayisho akumelanga sidonsele ingubo esayidini eli-one, kumele ingubo ibe kuma-sides onke, singayidonseli kobomama kuphela, ngoba ukuhlukumezeka kwabobaba nako kukhona, kodwa esikhathini esiningi ungathi uyabheka umthetho awudlali indima yabobaba, umthetho uhlezi usesayidini labantu besifazane. umthetho kumele ukuthi nawo kwesinye isikhathi uke ubheke ubaba mangabe ehamba maybe ahlukunyezwa umuntu ongumama makahambe epolice station bengafiki maybe bayenza inhlekisa ngayo bezwe isikhalo sakhe ngoba cause abanye babo bayahlukumezeka njengaleyo kubulala kwabantwana asike sithi lapho nomaZulu abantwana bayabulawa ubaba sekathola abantwana ukuthi abantwana kubona abakhe sekababulala loya muntu ubabulale ngenhliziyo ebuhlungu ongangokuthi umama layo iphutha libe khona kuye lapho kwenzakala kanjani ukuthi kuze kube nabantwana bangaka bengasibo balapha ekhaya kodwa still uloke kusanjani ninoke lisaqhubeka nisahlala nonke abomama sizameni ukugwema amaphutha ethu sibe ngabomama labana abanjani abaneqiniso akula muntu omsulwa wonke umuntu unawo amaphutha but abomama bazama ukuba neqiniso ukwenzela ukuthi lento lena injani inga-affect abantwana bethu siletha abantwana emhlabeni sibalethela emangeni amanga lawo ayiwo avuka futhi esenjani esesibulalisa ephinde ebulalise labantwana bona laba esibalethileyo lento ibuhlungu kakhulu noma ingabe ingayehlela kubani nakubani osesicathulweni ingaba sesicathulweni sakho uzozwa ukuthi buhlungu kodwa ekugcineni ukubulala umuntu akuyona into yokulungisa izinkinga.
Singathi thina mina nginomaZulu ngithi umuntu wesifazane bobaba noma engabe enzeni noma ezale abantwana abangasobe balapha ekhaya umuntu wesifazane akangabekwa isandla umuntu wesifazane akangabulawa umuntu wesifazane akadedelwe ahambe mawubona ukuthi wenze iphutha uyakuhlula leyo ukuthi umfaka isandla ngenxa yokuthi kuthiwa usenze lokhu ngithi cha mina angihambisani nayo ngingumuntu wesifazane babukeli bamathebeleleni television salinde abanye kumele basijoyine siyababona lapha lokhu bengafiki shuthi sabe siqhubeka silo nometha salinde abanye salinde uNoma salinde uRuth sisalinde lo uNomathemba uRuth no Fortunate Ndebele salinde ukuthi bangene labo basijoyine siza ukuthi kanti bona bathini siza ukuthi sebeke babhekana yini nalezo zimo nometha wena unometha kwaMpala so wabhekana layo i-abusive relationship wabhekana layo kanjani wayidlulisa kanjani mawuke wabhekana nayo
into engayisho ukuthi ma uku-abusive relationship ubona ngabantu abaphandle but wena ophakathi awuziboni njengoba uke washo ekuqaleni wathi ma uhamba usiyatshela abazali bazokutshela ilungisana izinto bazokutshela vele nasemendweni kwake kuyabekezelwa ngingasho ukuthi ngike ngaluhamba lolu hambo ngiyalwazi ngike ngalimala kakhulu ngiyakwazi ukulimala ngiyakwazi ukuhlukunyezwa kodwa uyabe uloke unengqondo lana ukuzitshela ukuthi umuntu uyatshintsha umuntu kanye katshintshe ngenxa yokuthi wena ufuna etshintsha umuntu uzotshintsha ngenxa yena sakafuna ukutshintsha njalo uma ungabe uhamba usebadaleni abadala bazokutshela ukuthi khona nasemandulo ogogo bethu babebekezela umendo bakhohle ukuthi manje akusekho emandulo uyalimala nomaZulu usale namanxeba usale ne-anger usale nezinhlungu ekugcineni kumele unjani uzithintithe usukume ube ngumzali ukhulisa abantwana bakho yikho mina mangikhulisa umntana wami oyinkazana ngimkhulisa ukuthi aqine njengomfana hayi ukuthi nothi ukuthi avumele ukuthi noma ngibani ngifake isandla ngiyayazi le ndlela
sibona lapha siqeda ukujoyina ngu-Dr. Gugu Ncube. Dr. Gugu Ncube sicela ubingelele ababukeli beMatebeleland Television Live nabe-JCTV Africa ubabingelele siyakwamukela ehlelweni le-Women Talk Show ye-Gender Based Violence ye-GBV. Dr. Gugu Ncube. Angazi noma akangizwa uDr. Gugu Ncube oqeda ukusijoyina kathesi ukuthi abingelele ababukeli beMatebeleland Television Live labe JCTV Africa. Siyamamukela ehlelweni.
Hi, Nomazulu. I hope you. Yes, I can hear you. Ngiyakuzwa.
Okay.
Network yami is not so smooth, but I will try and catch up lapha nalaphayana.
Okay. If possible ungavula ilona i-camera yakho ukuze ababukeli bakubone ubabingelele.
Good evening. Can you hear me, Nomazulu?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sanibonani babukeli bakwa Met TV. Ngiyajabula ukuba nani, ngiyabonga Nomazulu for ithuba onginikeze lona ukuthi ngibe lani. Ndinofara Zwikhuru. It is a great honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Sikhuluma ngodaba olubucayi namuhla olwe-gender based violence. Sibona kulokho kulezi nkinga ley'ngqinamba esibhekana lazo singabantu besifazane. Abantu besifazane babulawa ekuseni, emini, nebusuku. Uthini ngalolu daba njengoba ususijoyinile, Dr.
Gender-based violence, it's a sensitive matter to me. I hope you all know where I'm coming from. I'm a survivor myself of gender-based violence, and I'm grateful to God that I actually survived all the humiliation, the degradation, the denigration. I survived all those. And into engibuhlungu ngayo Nomazulu ukuthi thina eZimbabwe njengabantu beZimbabwe politicizing indaba ye-gender based violence sisayisebenzisa ukudlala i-politics, whereas indaba ye-gender based violence akuyona indaba esingadlala ngayo i-gender based violence or sihlekisane ngayo sithi uNoni is a failure, uNoni wehlule kumshado, uNoni this and this. Uyabona mangilwa or mangixabana noNoni, gender based violence should not even come to my head ukuthi ngiyisebenzise as a tool to denigrate or to silence uNoni. The moment I do that, it means i-gender based violence yakhona ayisenayo i-value, ayisenayo i-dignity, ayisenaso isisindo eZimbabwe. That is why singabafazi eZimbabwe siyohlala sihlukunyezwa njalo. Enye into ebuhlungu ukuthi abafazi thina sodwa siyahlukumezana. Always when a man is abusing a woman, there is another woman that is involved somewhere, somehow.
Uyasilahlekela Dr. Guguncube, uyasilahlekela. Sicela uvule i-mic yakho uqhubeke lokukhuluma, ngingazi kumbe ile nkinga ye-network. Dr. Guguncube, usaselathi noma uyalahleka? Babukeli besisaselo Dr. Guguncube ngathi uyasilahlekela. Ubechila uthi network yakhe ibamba iyeka. Dr. Gugu uyasizwa? Mr. Kenan ulahlekile uGugu.
Ungaqhubeka noNoni, uGugu has dropped.
Okay, abanye bahlule ukungena.
bebahluleka ukungena sizabazama kubathinta ngeWhatsApp.
Oh, okay. All right, kulungile. Nometha asiqhubeke ubesathinta udaba olubucayi uGugu ekhuluma ukuthi thina abantu besifazana yithi esibuye sihlukumezane lapho kuhlukunyezwa khona umuntu wesifazane kulomunye umuntu wesifazane la oncedisayo.
Angikuzwa kahle nona.
uDr. Gugu besakhuluma ngokuthi lapho kuhlukunyezwa khona umuntu wesifazane, ukhona omunye umuntu wesifazane la oncedisayo. We are our enemies too singabantu besifazane. Uthole manje umendo izolo uthole sebehlekisa ngakho ukuthi wena uthi umendo kanti abakwazi ukuthi kuyini okunzwisileyo. Siyahlekana lathi singabantu besifazane.
Yebo, abantu besifazane bayahlekana kakhulu. Ngingasho ukuthi isitha somfazi ngumfazi. Cause ma ushile umendo ababheki into engabe kuchisile umendo bakukhangela njengesehluleki. Umuntu ochiye umendo uthola ukuthi usubizwa ngalawo amagama ukuthi umabuye kwendeni njani. Uthothi mawufikile endaweni uchi umendo sokusiba lento leyana ukuthi hayi ubana sifuna jwayelane labo malukazana babo bani uzabafundisa ukushiya umendo kumbe kuthiwa ubana sifuna ahlangane labantwana abanje uzabafundisa into ezinje nakanje uyabo.
Mampala ibambe lapho kancane uyangena nanguGugu Ncube simuzwe ukuthi uthini aqhubeke lapha agcine khona. Gugu uyasizwa? Dr. Gugu?
Team. All right. Can you hear uNomazulu? Nomazulu?
Ngiyakuzwa Ken.
Okay, uyamuzwa uNomazulu? Or awumuzwa? All right.
Dr. Gugu mina ngiyakuzwa.
Bayakuzwa? Wena awumuzwa? Yeah, bayakuzwa. Okay, bewusicubeka ngendaba yokuthi abafazi yilabo they are the ones that are causing the pain to other women. You can continue in that vein and then bayakuzwa.
Okay, so I was saying isikhathi sonke ma ungabheka lapho kuhlukunyezwa khona umuntu wesifazane umuntu wesifazane phakathi lapho is either abantu besifazana bayasupporta abesilisa abahlukumeza abafazana or abesifazi or yena owesifazana ngokwakhe uyohlukumeza omunye umuntu wesifazane. So indaba leyo is so much bothering me. Forgive my Ndebele, I'm not so fluent in Ndebele. It's been long since I last spoke in Ndebele. So what I'm trying to say is we are having a challenge as women. We are seeing women are each other's enemies. Women are the ones in the forefront of denigrating each other. Women are the ones in the forefront of using gender-based violence as a weapon to actually silence other women. And as women, until we get to a stage to say, you know what, you are my sister and I should be able to be watching your back. We are fighting a lot bigly against gender-based violence. Unfortunately, that is the honest truth that is there on the table. Thank you.
All right, Lukuzwile kona Noma?
Yes, siyamuzwa uDr. Gugu ukuthi we are our own worst enemy singabantu besifazane. Dr. Gugu sibone indaba kaMoblessing Ali eHarare lapho okutholakale khona umzimba wakhe usumoshakala emva kokunyamalala isikhathi. Uthini umbono wakho uthini ngalesi siga esibi kangaka ezweni lethu?
Yeah, indaba kaMoblessing bayakhuluma yona leyo bathi what is your take on that one Gugu?
On Moblessing Alice issue, I'm actually hurt. I'm hurting. I am hurting because Triple C decided to politicize this matter. Look, guys, Zimbabweans need to learn that not everything must and should be politicized. Now, if you are going to politicize an issue of gender-based violence, you are bound to lose it, number one. Number two, the way CCC leaders treated this matter, it's uncalled for, it's unprofessional, it's just so sad. Because in this matter, they are dealing with somebody who had kidnapped more blessing. Now, when you are dealing with a kidnapper, you need to understand that the kidnapper has nothing to lose. You have everything to lose. You don't want your relative to be harmed at any time there. So I'm disappointed in how CCC leaders handled this matter. In my view, they were supposed to remain calm, to negotiate. You negotiate with the kidnapper. You remain calm. You submit to the kidnapper, not because the kidnapper has not broken any law. You submit up until the point the kidnapper releases your person unharmed. Then you can apply the law. The moment you start threatening, you start throwing tantrums, the kidnapper will obviously they know that if they release this person alive, this person will be the witness, the first witness in the door. So no kidnapper wants that. I'm disappointed in that. And secondly, I'm disappointed because a matter that is of gender-based violence was already politicized. The moment you say ZANU PF kidnapped more blessing, you have made a very terrible mistake there, a deadly one. If you are saying ZANU PF, you are meaning an organization, which I find very strange. If a member of any political party commits crime, that is not a political party that has committed a crime. That is that individual. And that individual is not ZANU-PF. Even if he were a member of ZANU, by the way, it's not yet verified that he is a member of ZANU-PF or not a member of ZANU-PF. So that person must be treated as an individual and as a criminal. That person must not be treated as a political party because that person is not ZANU-PF. So the moment CCC says ZANU-PF kidnapped, already they are excluding the ZANU-PF members from searching for more blessing. ZANU-PF members will enter a defense mode. You can't blame them. They are attacked. They are being labeled kidnappers. And they will obviously enter a defense mode to defend their party. Unfortunately, we are dealing with a political party that is always on the opposing side, no matter how good something is. I think those of you who remember, you can remember, Mr. Rusike, that from day one, I already raised the red flag and said, wait a minute, Zimbabweans, stop politicizing this matter. Let's get every Zimbabwean on the table to search for more blessing. Stop politicizing this matter because issues of gender-based violence, you cannot win them if you play politics. It's unfortunate that CCC has used the matter of more blessing as a weapon to hit back at ZANU-PF. And I'm sitting here and very worried as a ZANU-PF member. I'm very worried because this can happen to anybody. I'm a woman, I'm a girl child. I've got people that I once dated. Whether they are happy or not happy with the way we broke up, I don't know. I may find myself in a similar situation. So does that therefore mean it's only ZANU-PF members who are going to go out there and look for me? Zimbabwe, I address you and I ask you, is it only Tafazwa Mugwadi? Is it only Wanatendai? Is it only Wanamama Opam Chinguri that are going to go out there and look for me? I expect every single Zimbabwean to go out there and say, wait a minute, politics aside, Gugu is a Zimbabwean. We want our girl back. That's what I expect. I do not expect Zimbabweans to be torn along the political lines to say, no, she was ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF people can go ahead and look for him. I've got relatives that are in CCC. My father is in CCC. So what will happen to me? Are CCC members going to reject or stop looking for me and try and fix their own leader? Or are CCC members going to join my fellow comrades and ZANU-PF and look for me? So we need to think outside the box. Not everything Zimbabweans is about politics. I'm so heartbroken that we have lost a life. We have lost a woman. And this means a lot to her children. Every political party in Zimbabwe is going to mourn for one day, 1 week. Next week, nobody will be talking about more blessing. You will all have forgotten about it. But what have you done to your children? That's very sad. We are sitting with children that are going to face life out there without a mother. I'm heartbroken. I'm disappointed. Sometimes I wish Zimbabweans can actually listen. Not everything is about politics. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sisi Kukunube. So you distancing issue kama blessing away from politics. It was not politically ngokubona kwakho. We all thought we all thought she was kidnapped by ZANU-PF supporters because she was a Triple C member, as we're reading on social media. So you are saying it's not all that is gender-based violence.
All right. Ute uNomazulu uthe sorry abala babukeli abathandekayo I have to interpret everything that uNomazulu has to say. uNomazulu is asking ukuthi we all thought ukuthi More Blessing was kidnapped, and are you distancing yourself as a party from this whole issue? Because then we just thought that it was a ZANU-PF orchestrated attack on More Blessing. So when are you saying it was not ZANU-PF? May you clarify on that? That is what Nomazulu is asking.
First of all, I need to set the record straight. I'm not speaking on behalf of the party. The day when you want me to speak on behalf of my party, you will invite me and I will wear the regalia of my party and I will be speaking on behalf of my party. At this moment in time, today, as I'm standing here, I'm not mandated to speak on behalf of my party. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and other women out there that I represent in Zimbabwe, as I am known as one of the advocates of women and children in Zimbabwe. Now, to respond to that, I'm going to respond on my behalf and on behalf of women that I represent and the children's rights. Now, I'm not going to say it's ZANU-PF. I refuse to accept that it's ZANU-PF. Because when a person belonging to ZANU-PF commits a crime, that is not a party that has committed a crime. We saw some years back Lenmo Jongwe killed Rutendo. That was not MDC, which is now CCC. No, it wasn't. That was Lenmo Jongwe who decided to be a lawyer that decided to turn into a criminal. That was what it was. We saw in the past months, Tendai Biti assaulted Tatiana in court, by the way. That was not CCC attacking Tatiana. That was Tendai Biti who decided to be a lawbreaker and assault a woman. So when you talk about a person being a ZANU-PF member and you lump in the whole party, I've got a problem with that. I've been wronged, I've been denigrated by so many CCC members. I cannot therefore turn back and say, you know what, CCC is 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's only a few individuals that do not have Ubuntu in them. I'm not sure if I heard your question right and if I answered. I hope I answered you. Thank you.
Nomazulu umzwile.
Ngimzwile but uye wakhatha kancane, but it's fine. Let's move forward. Sis Gugu, what is your advice to those who are in abusive relationships? We know a lot of women are going through a lot in their marriages. Some are not even married. Bahlala nabo masihlalisane. I'm sorry to call that name. I don't know if it's correct to say it in Ndebele. But what is your advice to women who are going through a lot in their relationships? To women who are staying in abusive relationships, because They are not working. They are saying, if I leave, who's going to support me and my kids? Who's going to pay my rent? As we know that a lot of us, a lot of young women are in diaspora. What is your message to them? What is your advice to them?
Ukuku, Nomazulu yabuza ukuthi, what is your advice to young women that are in abusive relationships? We know most of them, they are in fat and sit, according to how it is said here in South Africa. And some of them, they are afraid to leave. And then, utini ubona if labantu they are in an abusive relationship. What is your advice if they are they are refusing to leave because they are benefits that are in the relationship and that is causing them to stick around? What is your advice to young women?
My advice is you cannot stay in an abusive relationship and risk your life. If you are in an abusive relationship, walk away. Walk away. I can tell you that opportunities are going to present themselves. Because the moment you stay there and say, I'm going to stay here because this man has bought me a BMW, this man is putting bread on the table for me, you will lose your life. You are risking losing your life in the process. And you are going to lose that BMW. You are no longer going to see that bread. Some of them are even left on wheelchairs, which is a very painful thing. So my advice to the young women is, it doesn't matter whether you're working or you're not working. You know what? There is life after an abusive relationship. Walk away. To walk away, it shows strength. I know that some of them are in those relationships and they are telling themselves that, I'm still here because of my children. Children get so destroyed when they see you as a mother being abused day in and day out. When they see you as a mother being kicked every day, they see you as a mother having blue eyes every day, they see your tears every day. That kills children. Rather have children growing with, happily with you in a shed and then visiting their father. Then you know that your children will grow as healthy emotionally, psychologically, mentally, and physically. But now, if you are going to stay there, you are destroying yourself. All that anger that you are bottling up, a human being is an engine. One day you are bound to break down. One day you are bound to reach a breaking point whereby you cannot take it anymore. Whereby you are, you feel like you can do anything. You cannot allow somebody else to push you and create another version of yourself. You are a loving person. You are a strong person. You are a courageous woman. Go out there. Leave that abusive relationship. If you do not know where to start, I'm always reachable. People can contact you, Kenan. You can give them my contacts. I'll be more than willing to, get them connected to various individuals that can assist them. I'll be more than willing to even assist them myself where I can. Yes, I'm running short of resources. Yes, I'm this and that. But there are a lot of many other people that are willing to fund and sponsor the issues of women in Zimbabwe. So you woman who is going to through abuse, reach out. We are here to listen to you. We are here to walk with you. We are here to stand up with you. We are here to be your eyes. We are here to watch your back. We're not going to let you be intimidated while we are there. Reach out. Move out of that abusive relationship. That is my advice to them. Thank you so much.
To those who are just joining us, sikhuluma lo Dr. Gugu Ncube ngodaba lwe gender based violence. Uthi Gugu lingabekezeleli ukuhlukunyezwa ezindlini if you going through an abuse, if you are in an abusive relationship, speak out, reach out to her. She can help you here and there even though ulekha ama resources. So bantu bakithi uthi uGugu lingahlaleli ukuhlukunyezwa ezindlini lingabantu besifazane. Khulumani lingesabi ukuphumela obala, lingesabi lokuyishiya leyo mshado ngenxa yegama lokuthi kuthiwa ngishadile. speak out lithola abantu abangalisiza uthi ugugu mali ingabe liyamdinga lisithinte lapha uze lithole inamba zakhe. Saqhubeka babukeli to uDr. Gugu, there's a comment from one of our viewers. It's actually a question from Vusumuzi Moyo. He is saying, I understand you, Comrade Gugu Ncube, but what is your take on your ZANU-PF council who says he doesn't want more blessing to be buried in his constituency?
I have already commented on Twitter. You can actually go on my Twitter handle. That is nonsensical. That councillor should know his place. He's actually violating more blessing even at death, which I do not condone. I have already mentioned that, and I have already raised the red flag and said this is nonsensical. We cannot have a councillor doing that nonsense. It's really I'm not happy with that, and I don't condone that. That is pure abuse of power, and it's something that I'm still going to escalate and raise even the flag higher and say, you know what, we cannot have a councillor bullying more blessings family. We cannot have a councillor bullying mourners. Let more blessing be buried peacefully. Let more blessing be buried, with love and with dignity. That's what all of us deserve, a dignified funeral. So if a councillor does that, it annoys me. It shows that women are never going to be respected even beyond death in Zimbabwe. And I've got a problem with that. I've already condemned that on my Twitter handle. You can actually go and check that. And I'm still going to raise the flag, the red flag, as high as I can. Thank you.
Siyabonga Dr. Gugu Ncube, but going back to your statement that that says this was not politically related, but here we are seeing a ZANU-PF councillor not wanting more blessings to be buried in his constituency. Do you still think this is not related to politics?
All right.
I can't hear you, Kenny.
My position as a party, I made it clear that I'm not representing the party at this point in time. I'm representing myself and the women and children that I stand up for. I'm not representing ZANU-PF at this point in time. When you want me to come in as a ZANU-PF representative, I'll wear my regalia as a ZANU-PF representative and come in. But at this time, I'm wearing a cap of an advocate for women and children's rights.
I get you, Dr. Gugu. As a woman, as a women and child advocate, my question to you, I don't know if you got it. Do you still think this was not politically related, as we are seeing a ZANU-PF MP, ZANU-PF council saying he doesn't want more blessing to be buried in his constituency? What can you call that? Is it not politically related? Is it still gender-based violence?
Umzule Gugu.
May you please come.
All right. Ute, are you still for the idea that this is not politically motivated? Seeing that Councillor is now stepping in and talking about not wanting more blessing to be buried in the constituents. Are you still convinced that this was not politically motivated? It was purely gender-based violence?
That is purely gender-based violence. The reason I'm saying so is because this involved more blessing and her ex-boyfriend. What happens after that is just the councillor breaking the law. It's just the councillor being in it started, it was gender-based violence. Because the other reason I'm saying is gender-based violence, I listened to an audio where a friend of More Blessing was describing everything that transpired there. There's been very much conflicting, statements, but then I have to rely on the statement, the official statement that ZRP issued, and fine, I draw also on what More Blessing's friend said on the recording. In my view, that is gender-based violence. What is now the councillor is now doing? We are fighting against it, and I'm saying the councillor is now wrong. It's politicizing gender-based violence, and now More Blessing should be allowed to be, rested peacefully. I don't believe that this was politically motivated. Who was More Blessing? All of you, knew about More Blessing now when he was kidnapped, but we all didn't know about More Blessing. Of what influence was she to ZANU-PF? And you ask yourself all those questions. And if I can be transparent and truthful to you, I have asked the security personnel in Zimbabwe, and they know I do not compromise on women matters. And I approach them, all the departments that you can think of, with my own questions as a woman. And I can actually stand here and proudly say, you know what? I cleared the security personnel in Zimbabwe. This had nothing to do with politics. This had nothing to do with the security personnel. This was a clear case of gender-based violence, which we all failed to handle. We decided to play politics. Hence, we are here today as mourners instead of us having More Blessing reconciled with her children. What the councillor is doing now is just being nonsensical. The councillor is just, growing too big for his shoes, and that should never be condoned. That should be condemned by every citizen that is a peace-loving person, and that is against gender-based violence.
Dr. Agugu, uma Blessing ulahleke isikhathi eside lokho engatholakali usetholakele manje, but no one has been arrested. Do you think the Zimbabwe Republic Police did enough to follow this case?
Kuku, they are saying that it has been long since More Blessing has disappeared, and do you think that Zimbabwe Republic Police did their job thoroughly in this case? Are you convinced with that, what they did?
There is something with the Zimbabweans, especially with the opposition parties in Zimbabwe. The opposition parties in Zimbabwe have got a very big problem. They need to introspect. If I were to sit down with them, I will tell them point blank and say, you know what, it's time for you guys to introspect. Now, I'm convinced that ZRP did their job. I will tell you why. On the very first day when Job Scala posted about More Blessing missing, I took my phone and I phoned Commissioner Nyati, spoke to him, and I told him, look, this is a woman that we're talking about, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4 from a women's point of view. By the way, I'm a mother, and when I speak on behalf of More Blessing, I'm speaking from the mother's perspective and the sister's perspective. I reached out to Honorable Kazembe Kazembe. I said, Kazembe Kazembe, this is what is happening. This is the woman that we're talking about, blah, 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 blah. Right? And the police undertook and said, look, we are doing our best. We are doing our best. We will give the feedback of what we have found so far. I can tell you that before the end of the day, on that day, the police issued out a statement and they gave us all the feedback. They are the people that told us that, no, wait a minute. There is nothing to do with politics here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if the police had not issued a statement on that very same day, I will be having a problem with them. I will actually be having a very big problem with them. But to me, it shows that they acted on time. They investigated on time. I don't see any delays that must be pinned on the police. Secondly, I want to take it back to the opposition, the CCC, and say, I attended a space, and me being me, everybody knows Ukuku. There's nobody in Zimbabwe who doesn't know Ukuku and what Ukuku stands for. I was dropped on that space. I wanted to ask them the same questions and say, guys, are you aware that you are doing 1, 2, 3, 4? You are actually putting more blessings. I was dropped simply because people know that I belong to ZANU-PF. And because I belong to ZANU-PF, I therefore have no obligation or no right to stand up for women of Zimbabwe, which I found very strange. I have to place that on recording. CCC acted negligently, ignorantly, and I think if I have to be say this painful words from a sister's point of view and from a bleeding heart, I will say, Hezo CCC, you made more blessing to be killed. Idya inyama ndimi maurayisa mwana idya izwenya zvinamhosva vana vake vanopurasi namai ndimi mazvigona because maibhururuka beligcwala indawo yonke lipapa indawo yonke politicizing this matter, not knowing, not taking into consideration that we are the ones that stand to lose. The kidnappers have got nothing to lose. So I go back there and say, you know what? They made a mistake. They again mentioned to me something that I was about to forget. They mentioned to me that they hired a private investigator. The moment you tell the police that you have hired a private investigator, then what are you saying to the police? You're saying the police, you cannot do your job. So they will stand and look. I'm not saying the police stood aside and watched, but that on its own is a statement which shows that they did not have confidence in the police. But then what did their private investigator achieve? Their private investigator achieved nothing. Because if their private investigator was able to achieve something, we wouldn't be here today talking about more blessing being late. We'll be talking about maybe more blessing being traumatized, all of us trying to give her counseling and all the stuff. But we are here today. I think the arrogance that has been displayed by CCC regarding this matter of gender-based violence is so disheartening, it's disappointing. I'm so disappointed in it. And I want to applaud the police. The police did a very good job, guys. I can tell you, I work hand in hand with police. There are so many cases that I have done. You can only for you are one person that knows that. There are many cases I have done with the police, liaising with them from here in my office in South Africa. I ask them questions. They give me responses. Not even a single day where the police shut me out. So I've got confidence in our police, and I'm satisfied they did their job and they did it on time. Thank you.
All right. I don't know if you have any further questions, Noni, but I think we need to bring on the other guests that were supposed to be part of the show, because I think we'll be doing disservice for them not to. So I'll have to drop Dr. Gugu Ncube, and then we bring them in on the issue. But thank you so much, Dr. Gugu, for coming. I don't know, Noma, if you have any other question that you wanted to direct to Dr. Gugu.
I still have a lot of questions for Dr. Cook. Can you please, can she please give us another time, a one-on-one with her alone? We still have a lot to talk about, as she's a women and children's advocate. I would love to talk to her further. Thank you for now, Dr. Kuku. Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi usivakashele kulolu hlelo lwe-JCTV Africa le-Matebeleland Television Live. Sikhangelela ukuthi sibe lawe maduze futhi.
All right, Dr. Gugu, thank you so much. Uno Mazulu is saying that she has a lot of questions and she expects you to come back and answer some of the questions. Maybe we need to bring you on another show. And thank you for your time.
No, that will be awesome. I'm also having a lot of things to say to Zimbabwe regarding the issue of gender-based violence and more blessings specifically. So I look forward to signatures.
All right. That was Dr. Gugu talking to us there on this issue. We continue with Noni. Noni, she's back. on the show, and let's just continue on that. I'm gonna leave to the two ladies to continue the conversation whilst I'm on the background. Noma, back to you.
Oh, okay. Siyabonga kakhulu Kenny. I'm wondering ukuthi laba abanye abamele bangene ehlelweni lokhu bangakangeni la manje. Babukeli bethu limzwile uDr. Gugu ophumileyo omele amalungelo abantu besifazane labantwana. Besikhuluma la namhla kulolu hlelo kodwa sikhanele ukuthi sabe sibe laye futhi maduze. Uthi yena amapholisa eZimbabwe ayenza umsebenzi omuhle kakhulu odabeni luka Mob Blessing. Uthi ulethemba elikhulu ngamapholisa eZimbabwe when it comes to handling ama-gender based issues. Okwamanje siyaqhubeka lo Nomethambala besilinde amanye ama-guest besikhangelela ukuthi sibe lama-guest ayi-4 namhlanje kodwa asibatholi. I'm sure it's due to technical issues. Sibonge kakhulu kwabasanda kusijoyina, sibonge kakhulu laba lokhu besijoyine kuqala uhlelo kuze kufike khathesi. Nometha siyaqhubeka khathesi lawe umzulu uDr. Gugu ukuthi uthini?
Yebo ngimzwile sisi.
Ulalo wena ithemba ngamapholisa sesikhuluma ngawaseZimbabwe lawa eSouth Africa. Ubone ngathi ayenza umsebenzi omuhle makusiza odabeni lwe-GBV. Siyasibona abantu besifazane belahleka, abanye bagcine bengatholakalanga. Amunye ahamba ereport ukuthi uyahlukunyezwa endlini, amapholisa mhlawumbe kumbe angenelela ngazi kodwa kugcine kuphuma isidumbu. Ubona njani wena? Ubona ngathi amapholisa ayenza enough makusiza kulezi indaba ze-GBV?
Mina into engayitsho noMaZulu ukuthi amapholisa ayawuyenza umsebenzi wabo. Bayawenza umsebenzi wabo. Futhi kule simo sika Mob Blessing ngethemba nami ukuthi abakwenzileyo bazotholakala.
Oh, uKenny ubesevale i-mic yami. Kenani ubusuvale i-mic yami. Oh, babukeli beMatebeleland Television Live, qhubekani lifaka ama-comments sisakhuluma lo Nomethambala ngodaba olubucayi lwe-gender based violence. Nometha qhubeka usitshela u-advisor futhi njengoba abanye bengasafika kulolu hlelo. I think sizosala le 10 minutes only or less siluvale uhlelo. I-advice yakho ithini kubantu besifazane ababhekane le nkinga zokuhlukunyezwa ezindlini? Uthini kuba njenganamuhla umuntu wesifazana everyday silama senkundla zokuxhumana ezabomama sisodwa, bayakhala abantu besifazana nsuku zonke? Uthini umbono wakho? Uthini uba-advisor usithini kulezi zimo ababhekane lazo? Sesizayigoqa sokusele kancane, a few minutes sobe siphuma because abanye asibatholi.
Mina into engayisho noMaZulu ukuthi mangabe ubhekane lokuhlukunyezwa, phuma usaselethuba, phuma usahamba ngenyawo zakho zombili. Ungaze ulinde ukuthi uze ulandwe ukhitshwa ngebhokisi lomngcwabo sokuthi abantu sebeza nehlahla bezothatha umphefumulo wakho lapho waphumela khona. Lokhu kurongo. Ma ukuthi uyahlukunyezwa njenganamhlanje, ngithi phuma usaselesikhathi. Ukuthi awusebenzi, awunamali, awunani, okunye nokunye uzokubona ngendlela. Uma ngabe usuphumile amaplani azovela, but uma usaphakathi vele amaplani angeke avele ngoba usanjani, usavalelekile. Kodwa nxa ungabe ulethuba njenganamhlanje, ngicela uphume dadewethu, ngicela uphume mna wami usalethuba. Ungabi lwana muntu oloke uhlalele ukuthi kuthiwa mina ngishadile. Umshado wakho lo uzokufaka emathuneni usasemncane. Phuma usaselesikhathi. Yebo umshado uyinto enhle kodwa ma usulokuhlukunyezwana akusengumshado lo. Phuma usaselesikhathi. Ukuthi abantu bazothini? Abantu vele bayahlala bekhuluma. Abantu bayahlala bekhuluma. Abantu bayahlala bekuphosa ngamatshe vele. Kodwa wena kumele uzifake wena phambili. Abantu sebengasho bethi wena uselfish, uzicabangela wena wedwa. Kodwa wena zifake wena phambili. Ube ngulwana muntu ozifaka phambili, ungakafaki omunye umuntu phambili, uphume usaselethuba. Yila magama engawatshela udadewethu obhekane lokuhlukumezeka, ngithi umna wami obhekane lokuhlukumezeka. ngesikhathi samanje ngithi uphume manje usasele thuba. Ungalindeli ukuthi uze ukhitshwe yikufa kuthiwa usuphuma lapho ngoba usufile. And ukuhlukumezeka kwesinye isikhathi akungokushaya kuphela, la magama akhulunywayo phakathi aba buhlungu kakhulu. And umuntu engabona ukuthi usekushaye kakhulu, awusenandaba nokushaya, usesebenzisa namagama. Njalo umuntu uma kakushaya engaqala ukukushaya ngesandla, ngelinye ilanga uzolandela akushaye ngenduku, ngekugcineni uzogcina njani akubulala. Phuma usasenesikhathi, phuma usaselethuba, baleka ngenyawo zombili, usasenamandla. Ziphilele wena, ungaphileli abantu ukuthi bazothini. Ungaphileli le family yakho lezobuleka ikutshela ukuthi walotsholwa kwakhitha inkomo kwathini. Ngamane lezo nkomo bazidle bezibeka amathambo, kodwa ekugcineni wena unjani, uphumile uphila. Ukuthi mawubuyela ekhaya muva bazothini, ungabi le ndaba lakho lokho. Ziphilele wena ngokwakho.
Ngike ngathi esukwini ezimbalwa ezidlulileyo ma kutrenda indaba kaNamhla from Eastern Cape oyowabulawa kade ebhekane lobunzima ku-relationship ye-17 years ehlukunyezwa echaywa waze wagcina estejini sokuthi uthe ma ephuma kuleyo relationship washona. Kulezi zimo esibhekana lazo singabantu besifazana ukuthi uzithola usuku either you live or stay you die ku-relationship whereby ma uhleli uyahlukunyezwa lakhona usangabulawa. Ma uthi uyaphuma uyabaleka ungabulawa lakhona. So ngithe ngibona lolu daba ngase ngiphosta ku-wall yami ngikhuluma ngikhuza ngisithi umuntu ohlukunyezwayo kaphume aphele angahlali lapho. Ngathola ama-comments athi ngichitha imizi yabantu. Mhlawumbe lawo omunye sengathi uchitha imizi yabantu ngokuthi uthi abantu abahlukunyezwayo abaphume bengahlali. Uthini ngalokho?
Mina into engayisho noMaZulu sebengasho ukuthi ngiyayichitha imizi yabantu anginandaba, but ekugcineni ngiyonga umphefumulo womunye umuntu. Umuzi awukazi walungiswa ngodlame, umuzi awukazi walungiswa ngenduku. Abantu abayekele ukuba leya mentality ukuthi mina ngiyindoda. Ma uyindoda kumele uphakamise izwi, ma indoda kumele uthathe something ushaye umuntu. No, awuyona indoda ma uyenza njalo. Ngiyazi vele sekungahamba kuthiwe ngiyayichitha imizi yabantu. No, umuzi oyakhiweyo one-foundation angeke uchithwe ngamagama engakhulumayo manje. Ungabona umuzi wakho uchitheka ngamagama engakhulumileyo, kusho lo muzi ubuvele ungekho, uvele ukhohlwe la ngawo vele.
Babukeli sesizayigoqa manje siyivala, besilethulela namhla udaba olubucayi olo-gender based violence lapha esike sajoyinwa khona nguDr. Gugu Ncube omele amalungelo abantu besifazane labantwana. Kulapha sikhuluma khathesi sikhuluma noMeta Mpala. Sizoligoqa lolu hlelo ngoba amanye amagesti ethu kade kumele abe khona asaphumelelanga ukungena. Sithi lolu hlelo alucini lapha, next week sizabe sikhuluma labo baba basitshele ukuthi kanti basibulala kangaka kwenze njani na, kanti kwaba lodlame ezindlini kwenze njani na. Sabe sikhuluma labo baba, sizabuye futhi maduze babukeli sizabe kancane maduze futhi sililethele omama abadala labo baba abadala, mhlawumbe bake basibonise thina siyintsha esakhulayo esangena emendweni, sibabuze ukuthi kanti bona bahlala kangaka isikhathi eside emtshadweni, yini ababenza kahle, yini thina esingayenzi kahle. Ngoba lami nginje ngiyintatheli, ngiyi-journalist, kuningi engizilela ukho engakwaziyo engidinga ukukuzwa lokufundiswa ngabaphambili. Bathi isiNdebele sithi indlela ibuzwa kwabaphambili. NoMeta Mpala, siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi ube lathi namuhla, ushare lokho olakho, ubonise u-advise lababukeli. Ngicela uvalelise siligoqa lapha uhlelo. Okay, valelisa.
Shithi ngiyabonga kubabukeli, ngibonge nakuwe noMaZulu, ngibonge kubo bonke abangibukeleyo. Hayi, akunanto engingayikhuluma kakhulu, nilale kahle.
Siyabonga kakhulu babukeli beMatebeleland Television Live and JCTV Africa besiliphathele udaba lwe-gender based violence silikhuluma silihlaziya sibona ukuthi kanti kwenzakalani na sibe salithintela lo daba lokubulawa kwama-more blessings eHarare eChitungwiza besilithinta lo Guguncube lapha othe yena hayi lindaba ayisondelelanga le ndaba ze-politics kodwa i-GBV singazimbukeli wakho umbono ukuthi uthini hlalani lathi siyiMatebeleland Television Live lisubscribe ku-YouTube and also subscribe to our JCTV Africa channel. We are nothing without you babukeli bethu sicela isibekezelele njalo nje lapho kuhamba khona kube lokuhaxa ngoba liyazazi izinto ze-technology and lack of resources. We really appreciate you watching every time. To our loyal followers and supporters, we greatly appreciate you so much. Kenny, I don't know sasekhona so that uvalelise bese siyahamba.
All right. Siyabonga kakhulu babukeli emakhaya and everyone that has been watching the show. Thank you so much, and hopefully we're going to keep on having these conversations about gender-based violence. And I'm also thumbs up to Nonim for coming on the show, and it is actually something that we really appreciate. So I wanted to also just say, I think it is a very, very important subject that we have these conversations about gender-based violence, because if we are not going to talk, and as Unoni has said, nothing can be solved by violence, and a home cannot stand if we are using the fist. And any man that does that does not deserve any of my respect. You cannot rule your house using ispagela. So, but I want to say thank you, ladies. Hopefully, we're going to answer your questions with the gentlemen in the coming week. And ngiyabonga kakhulu for coming to the show.
Thank you so much, Kenny. I now feel safe working around you as we are against gender-based violence. You sometimes, as women, we tend not to trust men around us because we don't know if they're going to kill us tomorrow. But anyway, thank you so much.
All right. You are totally safe around me. Totally safe. I've never laid my finger on a woman. I don't do that, and it's on record, and my conscience is clear on that. I've never laid a hand on any woman. It's and I'm very, very serious about that, and I don't subscribe to such levels. If you have any issues with a woman, if you see that you cannot be with her, send her back to her family, and you can live in peace, and you can co-parent whilst living one apart from each other. There's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, you don't want on your conscience to be told that you are the father that killed our mother, you are the father that mutilated our mother, because at the end of the day, it's not going to be a good record on you. So I really feel like we should be encouraging one another as men not to put a hand, whether how angry you are. Go out there and steam and blow your steam using other means, not beating up your wife or your woman that is in your life.
Thank you so much, Kenny. To all men who are watching right now, please love your women. Please protect them. Please love your kids and protect them. We will also love you and protect you, even though we are the weakest link. We human cycle. But yeah, still let's protect, let's stand, lathi solthanda sihloniphe siyabonga. Sibonge kini lonke babukela de lisibukele namuhla. Lilale kahle.